nice day. I had to introduce the video with love, my green heart chakra singing bowl. Love. Say, I am love. I give love. I receive love. Here goes some love. I am love. I give love. I receive love. I am love. I give love. I receive love. Now let's begin with the foreword before we move to chapter 1. We are all storytellers. We tell each other our stories, and we all love a good tale, whether it's in a movie, in a book, online, or whispered to us late at night. We pass around our stories, and they include a vast number of fables. Fables are especially wonderful things because, as Webster defines it, they enforce a useful truth. This little book presents us with a powerful and original fable that reveals one of the most useful truths of all. Financial prosperity and a fulfilling life well lived are goals we can all achieve if we understand and practice the principles of success. Perhaps a fable is the finest form in which to present these truths, for in the childlike simplicity of a fable, we can communicate directly with the childlike simplicity of our subconscious minds. Once we get a message to our subconscious minds, we can create a great many positive changes in our lives. The Instant Millionaire has now been published in over 37 editions all over the world, and over 2 million copies have been sold. The author is a genuine millionaire. The author is a genuine millionaire. So this ain't just some little book that somebody wrote just because they felt like this real stuff right here. But you still got to practice. And his little fable is not to be taken lightly, which ain't no little fable at all if you ask me. But I get the point. This is a book to be read, reread, studied, and practiced. Practice. It is a brilliantly conceived book that can make you wealthy in many ways, not just money. And some are far more satisfying and valuable than material riches. Mark Allen, author of Visionary Business and The Millionaire Course. Chapter 1, in which the young man consults a wealthy relative. There was once a bright young man who wanted to get rich. He had his fair share of disappointments and setbacks. It couldn't be denied. And yet he still believed in his lucky star. While he waited for fortune to smile, he worked as an assistant to an account executive in a small advertising agency. As I'm reading this, use your imagination and create a movie in your head out of what you heard. It's also good for your subconscious mind and your visualization and your imagination. He was inadequately paid and had felt for some time that his job offered him little satisfaction. His heart was simply no longer in it. He dreamed of doing something else, perhaps writing a novel that would make him wealthy and famous and end his financial problems once and for all. But wasn't his ambition a bit unrealistic? Did he really have enough talent and technique to write a bestseller? Or would the pages be filled with bleak, unfocused ramblings of his inner misery? His job had been a daily nightmare for more than a year. His boss spent most of each morning reading the newspaper and writing memos before disappearing to indulge in a 3-hour lunch. He also changed his mind continually and gave contradictory orders. But it wasn't only his boss. He was surrounded by colleagues who were also fed up with what they were doing. They seemed to have abandoned any sense of vision. They seemed to have given up altogether. He didn't dare tell any of them about his fantasy of dropping everything and becoming a writer. See, that's what he wants to do. He wants to be a writer. He found his purpose in life because he chose that purpose for himself because that's what he loves to do, apparently. He knew they would treat it as a joke. When he was at work, he often felt cut off from the world, as if he was in a foreign country, unable to speak the language. Every Monday morning, he wondered how on earth he was going to survive another week at the office. He felt totally alienated from the files piled high on his desk, from the needs of clients clamoring to sell their cigarettes, their cars, their beer. He had written a letter of resignation 6 months earlier and had walked into his boss's office a dozen times with the letter burning in his pocket, but he had never been quite able to go through with it. It was funny. He would not have hesitated 3 or 4 years ago, but now he seemed unsure what to do. Something was holding him back. Some kind of force, or was it simply cowardice? He seemed to have lost the nerve that had always helped him get what he wanted in the past. He kept waiting till the time was ripe, finding all kinds of excuses for not jumping into action, wondering if he could ever really succeed. He has turned into a perpetual dreamer. Did his paralysis spring from the fact that he was saddled with debts? Or was it because he had simply started to get old? A process inevitably triggered the minute we give up our visions and future. Y'all heard that? Or was it simply because he started to get old? A process triggered the minute we give up our visions of the future. One day, when he was feeling especially frustrated, he suddenly thought of visiting an uncle of his who had become a millionaire. Perhaps he might be able to give him some advice, or better yet, some money. His uncle was a warm, friendly person who immediately agreed to see him. He refused to lend him any money, however, claiming he wouldn't be doing him a favor. "How old are you?" his uncle asked, after listening to his tale of woe. 32, the young man whispered timidly. "Do you know by the time J. Paul Getty was 33, he'd already made his first million? And that when I was your age, I had $500,000. So how in the world is it that you are forced to borrow money at your age?" I know that hurt, don't it? That hurt, don't it, when you hear somebody say something like that? Because all they saying is you can do it too. But why aren't you doing it? Beats me. I work like a dog, sometimes over 50 hours a week. 50 hours a week? Where he working at? Do you really believe that hard work is what makes people rich? I guess so. Anyway, that's what I've always been led to believe. How much do you make a year? 35,000. Yeah, about that much, replied the young man. Do you think that someone who earns $350,000 works 10 times as many hours a week as you do? Obviously not. So if this person earns 10 times more than you do without working any more than you do, then he must be doing something quite differently than you. He must have a secret that you are totally unaware of. That must be true. You're lucky you understand that at least. Most people don't even get that far. They are too busy trying to earn a living to stop and think about how they could get rid of their money problems. Most people don't even spend an hour of their time trying to figure out how they could get rich and why they've never managed to do so. The young man had to admit it. Despite his burning ambition and his dream of making a fortune, he had never taken the time to really think his situation through. Everything seemed to distract him and prevent him from facing up to a task that was obviously a fundamental importance. The young man's uncle was silent for a while, then smiled. I've decided to help you out. I'm going to send you to the man who helped me get rich. He's called the Instant Millionaire. Have you heard of him? No, never, the young man said. He chose that name because he claims he became a millionaire overnight after discovering the true secret of making a fortune. He claims he can help anyone become a millionaire overnight, or at least acquire the mentality of a millionaire. His uncle turned to a large map on a wall and pointed to a small, somewhat isolated town. Have you ever been there? No. Why not give it a try? Go and find him. He just might reveal his secret to you. He lives in a fantastic house, the most beautiful one in the whole town. You shouldn't have any problem finding it. Why don't you just tell me the secret? Then I won't have to take the trouble of going there. Simply because I don't have the right to. When the Instant Millionaire confided it to me, the first thing he did was make me swear never to tell it to anybody. However, he did say I could refer people to him. All this seemed both surprising and involved to the young man. It certainly aroused his curiosity. Are you sure you can't tell me anything at all? Absolutely positive. What I can do is recommend you highly to the Instant Millionaire. The young man's uncle pulled out a sheet of elegant writing paper from a drawer in his massive oak desk, took his pen, and hastily scribbled a few lines. He then folded the letter, put it in an envelope, and handed it to his nephew. Here's your introduction, he said, and here's the millionaire's address. One last thing, you must promise not to read this letter. If ever you do open it, despite my warning, and you still want it to work for you, you will have to pretend that you haven't opened it. But how can you undo what's already been done? The young man didn't have the vaguest idea what his uncle was talking about, but he agreed. His uncle had always been a bit eccentric, and he was doing him a favor after all, so he decided not to press the point. He thanked him warmly and left. Now that's chapter 1. We're going to get chapter 2 next. What I wanted to say is, this book, The Instant Millionaire, any book you see me reading, right, about the power of the mind, because that's what it's about. Even though it's called The Instant Millionaire, it's about the power of the mind, because the power of your mind is what makes you rich. The way you feel is what makes you rich. It doesn't just attract money. It attracts everything. Health, love, peace, balance, companionship, partnership, business, whatever you can think about. Food, I don't care what it is. A car, a house, whatever. It's the same principle. You just apply it. Now, what I wanted to do was get to the point where you have lots of people who read books like this. They got a whole library full of these books. They can tell you every word. I read that book. I read that book too. But this is the thing. Are you practicing it? Because you can read these books all day long. You can read them all. But until you practice, I said a practice. Because I'm thinking about, see, that's why I be saying stuff like that. Because I'm thinking about words before I even got to the word. So if you practice this and apply it to your life, it works. But you have to practice it. And you have to stay persistent. Don't practice it for 1 day, 2 days, a week. And you're like, oh, this stuff don't work. See, that's what I'm talking about. No, keep going. Go, 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 go. Don't give up. Keep going. But the point is, you can read this book all day. You can go on YouTube and listen to people talk about this stuff all day. If you're not practicing this stuff, it's not going to work for you. But at least you're getting some good positive. At least you put something positive in your head for the most part. But some people can read this stuff. They'll read this whole book and then go and cry about being broke. Come on now. You might as well not read the book. Another thing. Get you some journals and notebooks, see? So you can write down things that come to you. You can write down your ideas. You can write down your goals. You can write down your strengths. You can write down your weaknesses. You can write down things that you want to accomplish, things that you want to bring into your life. You can write down what type of person you want to be, what kind of house you want to live in, what type of car you want to drive, what type of wife or husband you want to have, what type of life you want to live. What would you like to be doing with your life? Write all that stuff down. Because that helps you focus. Every time you get scattered, every time you feel like you start getting that feeling, that heavy feeling, go back to your journal and read. See? Like, for example, I write all this stuff in here. Because every time I start tripping out, I was like, let me go read my journal. And it raised my vibration back up. And it's also contacting my subconscious mind. And it's also making my conscious mind focus on that instead of focusing on what's going on outside, what's going on at work, what's going on in my sex life, what's going on in my pocketbook, what's going on with my children. Instead of worrying about all that negative stuff, instead of letting my conscious mind just sit here and just all day long, I'll say, you know what? What's this say? Let me find something. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am loved. Look good. Feel good. Smell good. Be still and know that I am God. There is no future. No tomorrow. No yesterday. There is only now. There are good things going on here that you want to be a part of. If not you, others will come. If something is bothering you, redirect your attention. Where attention goes, power flows. Every day and every way, I am getting better. Be positive. Speak positive. Think positive at all times, no matter what is happening. While there is cause and effect, there is no coincidence. See, reading stuff like this. Monitor your thoughts closely. Focus on the good you want, not the bad. Things like this. I am sure of myself. You know, don't worry about anything. Don't fear anything. You have the power of God in you. See what I'm saying? Stuff like this. Write the problem, issue, challenge on the top of your page. And then turn on your thinking apparatus. See, things like this keep me straightforward. It keeps me from thinking about all that negative stuff that I had been programmed with. I'm reprogramming myself. Now, I take this stuff that I write in here, because I do a lot of scribbling in here. I come in here and just write stuff real fast so it don't always come out so pretty. And I take it and rewrite it in here. See, this is a nice journal. Get you a nice journal. Get you something nice. Ain't you a millionaire? Ain't you prosperous? Ain't you financially wealthy? Aren't you abundant? Get you a nice notebook. Journal. Don't go and get one of them little $1 notebooks. Spend some money. Nice. See, look, nice. Dream Keeper. It's a nice notebook. It's gonna last. It's a very nice notebook to last. So, journal. So when I write, whatever I write in here, I rewrite it in here. The most important stuff, the stuff that I know I want to keep forever. And another thing is, this gets passed down. This is wealth. This is wealth. This gets passed down. When I leave this body and I go back to the all, the one consciousness, the one God, the one source, the big mama, the father. You know, we got all these names nowadays. All that, right? When I go back to that source, that one source that we all are, this stays here on earth to be passed down to whoever it calls itself to. Whether that be my children, my grandchildren, my family, my friends, or a total complete stranger. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is everything that I write in this book, in this journal, is full of wealth, knowledge, and wisdom. So, this stays behind. This stays in my library. When I die and my sons grow up, if they gonna know, because look, I'm talking now, so they gonna know. But let's just say for hypothetically reasons, they were struggling in life. Let me go look at my dad's stuff. Matter of fact, put it in the wheel or something. Let me go look at my dad's stuff. They gonna open it up. So how did my dad become a millionaire? Yo, bing! All light bulbs come on. Now they flourish. Well, okay. Now I'm finna leave. Now I just want to say this. I just want to say this was stuff that I wrote down. 5 principles of life. Don't judge. Don't criticize. Don't take it personal. Don't get offended. No love lost. And y'all gonna really like this one. Because you have lost all consciousness of your problems and barriers and limitations and doubts and fears and guilts. It is now the easiest thing in the world to feel yourself to be one with the things desired. Now, how can I put that in ghetto terms? Since you stop focusing on all that bullshit, it's easier for you to focus on the good shit that you desire, because you have taken your attention away from the bullshit and you have focused your attention on the good shit that you desire. Peace out. Love. Have a nice day, my friends. Repeat after me. I am love. I give love. I receive love. I am love. I give love. I receive love. I am love. I give love. I receive love.